Alright, so here's all the things that you could do with Activator. Let's see here. Alright, so first we'll just look at my assignment so you can just get a general idea, and then I'll show you where things are. So, for the assignments, let's just look alright, so I have my automatic brightness is something that you can automatically control. So if my battery drains below 11%, past 11% on the, I have it go down to 13% brightness. I have it go down to 24% brightness. And notice this is at home screen, at application, at lock screen. You don't have to set all those separately. Like if you just set the gesture to anywhere, it automatically does all those for you. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you that real fast. Let's go back to the assignments. Alright, so 24% brightness go down if the battery drains to 25%. I also have it kind of do it at 55% because I don't like having my battery like on my home screen, and sometimes I'm in full screen apps where the battery isn't showing, so it's kind of like an early warning system. Like I always have my brightness go down to 24%. Because believe it or not, like brightness is like one of the biggest factors that eats up your battery. The brighter you have your phone, the more battery it's going to eat up. Like I notice, like especially on Spawn's 4S, like it'll kill his battery. Like it seems like every 25% you lower it, it like raises the battery by like at least an hour. Sometimes it's like crazy. So yeah, 40% brightness. Also have the volume go down. Like when you connect to a wired headset or something like that, that can help. I'll show you how to do all these. Um, Airplane mode, if my battery drains past 11%, because a lot of times, like, I hate when my battery goes to zero, you know what I mean, and it automatically shuts down your phone to the point where you have to, like, reboot it. So I'd rather have it go into airplane mode as an early warning system that I need to plug in my battery. And then I also have it deactivate automatically if the battery charges past a certain level. So, you know, if it goes past 20, it deactivates. And if for some reason I forget to turn it off, you know what I mean, or I turn it back on, the battery, also that'll charge your battery way quicker if you're in airplane mode, if you don't need the internet while it's charging. Where it says my phone is lost, that's just a custom message to deactivate airplane mode. If for some reason I text my phone with my phone is lost, like if it's stolen or something like that, someone wants to put it in airplane mode so I can't find my phone, I have that deactivate if I send it that message. So that's a quick way to find it. Auto brightness. You always want to have auto brightness deactivated. That's another main battery pull. But just in case it comes on for some reason, or I have to put it on for whatever reason, I have it turn off at these battery increments. Okay. Auto lock. That's another switch. Like if you're downloading content, sometimes you don't want your screen to automatically go to the lock screen, you know what I mean, and go to standby. So sometimes I'll turn that off if I'm downloading something like in Safari. That's going to take a while. So I just have it automatically, like the switch automatically reactivated in case I forget at certain levels. Let's see here. Background app refresh. Believe it or not, like your backgrounding applications, like that send notifications through and stuff like that, like Alien Blue, IFTT, even Skype, they all have to work in the background in order for you to get push notifications. So you can deactivate the background app from refreshing at certain battery increment levels. And then you can turn it back on once it charges past certain levels automatically in case you forget. Because I'm very forgetful, so this does it all for me. Bluetooth, it's not a main battery component, but you know, sometimes it helps if you do that. Cellular data, you can have it activate if you know you send your phone a message, my phone is lost. Let's see here. I also have like alert messages, like stupid alert messages, just to like alert me. A custom message saying like, oh, your battery's at 100%, or oh, your battery's at this level, or your battery's at that level. It just sends up like a pop-up alert. So that also helps me like know things. Do not disturb. I'll have that activate at certain levels. Like if I need to save power, I'll have that activate or deactivate if certain things are added. Eclipse, flux, hotspot. I mean, if you don't really use these, you could toggle them just like the other ones. Location services, that's another one. If your battery drains below a certain level, you want to deactivate that, and then you could just set it to reactivate when your battery charges past a certain level. LTE, I actually just recently changed this, but if you're whenever you're on Wi-Fi, you can trigger LTE to go to LTE to automatically turn off, and then whenever you're on Wi-Fi or whenever you leave Wi-Fi, you can have LTE trigger on, so that's also helpful. Let's see here. Only one notification is great, because if you get like a lot of lock screen notifications and it becomes annoying, this will only push it. So I have it scheduled at night to go on like 11 p.m. to where if my phone is locked, I'll only get one notification to wake the screen, and then after that it'll kind of like treat it like do not disturb, but they'll still appear on my lock screen. So that's also good, and it can also help save your battery. Let's see here. Respring, if my battery drains below 10%, I automatically have my phone respring. So again, I don't become in danger of draining to the point where I have to wait to plug it in for a little while and for it to charge before I can turn it back on. It just tells me, alright, bitch, if you don't want to wait, stop fucking with your phone. Smart Close is also great, because Smart Close, what it does is it freezes your applications and puts them in a deep sleep for whatever's in the multitasking center. I'll be in a second. I'm making a video. So with Smart Close, you can, it'll have like the system actions and everything. So you have that. If your battery drains below a certain level, what it'll do is, like, if you have multiple applications open, it'll put anything in your multitasking window into a deep freeze. So when you click back on that application, it'll go to wherever, like, think of it as like pausing a video, and rather than closing the application out, like if you were to smart close it, then whenever you go back into that application, like Netflix for instance, it would automatically be on that same screen because it would have just frozen it. But because of the way the iOS 7 multitasking works, it's actually more battery efficient rather than to just close the apps by swiping up like, in the swiper like that. It's actually better to put them into Smart Close. So, and it's easier for you too. So that's also a big help. Another quick thing I'm going to show you, just go into settings real quick. So, with settings, if you go to wallpaper and brightness, you can check to make sure that the auto brightness is going on. But another big one is general. This is like one of the biggest battery eaters and something that you don't need, and that's setting the date automatically, because it'll constantly, there's like a listening trigger in there, so it'll constantly check when you set for automatically, and that's like a big battery drain. So once you set your time zone, it's pretty accurate, so just leave that off. You know what I mean? You don't need to constantly have that on to set automatically. Just set it for whatever time zone you are and you're golden. But that's a huge battery eater. So yeah, that's basically everything right there. Now I'll just show you really quickly. Let me go into Activator. So anywhere, what you could do is, if you hit more, you can make all these custom events. So as you can see, if an application launches, if battery charges, so then you can make it for any type of new event. So if battery level charges above 62%, save, and then you hit done, battery level, and then 62%, that's what I just made. And then you can assign something to it. So here are all your immediate chargers based on what you have. These are a lot of add-ons that I added But you know, you could set it for the volume, you could set it for, let's go down to the triggers, which would be, I know I have a lot of crap on here. Alright, activator switches. So you have activate and then deactivate. So here are all the triggers, and these are just flip switches. So you could just download the flip switch. Here are all mine if you want to see those. But you know, you could have them activate a certain level or deactivate it under a certain level. So those are just little ways that you could save stuff. So I mean, that's basically it. Any questions, just let me know. But that's how it works. And if you ever want to view what assignments that you've assigned, you can just go to assignments, and then you can view everything right there. But that's basically it.